The Multiverse Saga of the MCU has truly, finally, has begun, and it will never be the same again. Or will it? I really don't know anymore. Hey everyone, Joe here from the Collection Compass, and welcome to our Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania unboxing for home media. Of course, we have the DVD. Obviously, you'll see on the screen eventually the Blu-ray, the regular 4K, all the other editions, and the 4K Steelbook exclusively at Best Buy, as per usual with our many traditions. Here we are. This is the first home media release for Phase 5, and I'm just gonna be honest with y'all. It felt quick. It felt a little bit, you know, like, I don't know, like, didn't the movie just come out? Or is it like, you know, I mean, then again, the movie came out mid-February. It's mid-May as I'm recording this. 3 months seems like a faraway time, but it didn't. We just got Guardians Volume 3 in theaters. We're probably going to get it at some point there in the summer. Time's going by weird, guys. It's going by like a weird perception of things. But here it is. Finally, Phase 5 has begun on home media, and let's talk about it a little bit. Obviously, you have your DVD, you have your 4K Steelbook, you have all your goodies, and I'm just gonna say one of this, in order to like kind of summarize the whole experience before we even get started. On terms of like just the regular, the main side of things that most retailers will be getting this week and beyond, I'm just gonna say this. This is like the most overused like cover in the world. I'm just like, oh my god, this movie is just not off to the greatest start. Like, what do I mean greatest start? It's not even the greatest start in period. Like, I don't know. Like, I really don't want to be disrespectful. I really don't. There's just like, this movie was literally supposed to come in and just be this fun coming back to the film for Ant-Man after so long. Introduces this grand new villain for the entire saga to set up the next 4 or 5 years of storytelling for the MCU. And make a lot of money. And none of this actually came true, which is kind of weird in my opinion. It does feel kind of, maybe we'll get to more of the whole media side of things, but like overall speaking, like just in the grand scheme of it, it just never really impressed me, so to speak. It didn't really gravitate towards me, so to speak. But you know what, let's just get down into it. Let's go into more of my specific thoughts. Now, first up, we have the DVD, which you can buy at all the major retailers. In terms of the cover alone, it is the movie poster, sans, you know, kind of downsiding things a little bit. It's not really equally as identifiable anymore as you have the other three main titular characters over here. Then you just have Ant-Man and the Wasp kind of front and center. It's not really sort of equal. Minute a little bit like Ant-Man's in front, which again, I know his name goes first, but still. And then you have our new villain, or the villain. It's so weird to talk about right now. It really is, because we just don't know. I'll talk more about that when I'm sitting down. But Kang, we have Kang here. We have like his soldiers, however they're kind of identifiable. The side with the logo. And I will say this about the logo. I'll say this about the logo. The logo itself is, how do I say this? The logo is cool. They definitely had so many variants of the logo, so if you understood that reference. I feel like this is my, like, you know, okay-ish one. I never really was, like, a big fan of the logo, mind you. It just, you know, whatever design schemes they come up with. Then you have the new Ant-Man helmet for the film. On the back, you get to see Giant Man, the Wasp, and then Stature, which is Cassie's new form going into battle. And, again, it's just kind of hilarious how, like, there is no reviews. There is not one review for this movie on the back. It's just as witness the beginning of a new dynasty. Obviously, if you are aware, the next time we will see Kang in a major capacity will be in Adventures of the Kang Dynasty, which is still many years away because of things that are going on right now. Inside, we have the usual gray disc, pamphlets with the codes for the movies, and that's about it. Mind you, about that front, there really is not much to talk about with the actual DVD, because let's be honest there. It's just not that, you know, how do I say that? It's just not that presentable at times. It really isn't. Like, I don't know how else I can really explain it. It's just like, Disney has never been the biggest in terms of, like, you know, its recent home media releases. In my opinion, it just hasn't been. It's just kind of weird to say about that. Like, it just, since I'm looking about, like, since Doctor Strange 2 even, like, it didn't have, like, the biggest, like, you know, like, let's really go hard into, like, the whole media really. And maybe because I'm very special, maybe because I'm very particular, maybe it's because I really want the best, you know, put some investment, some, you know, time and research into it, and they don't. It's just, like, it's weird, just for me. It's weird. Anyway, before I give my thoughts on the Steelbook, obviously there are other additions to the Quantumania home media packaging, which this continues the train of, like, this movie was not It did not get the TLC, the Black Panther, Wakanda Forever. Like, Wakanda Forever, like, set the bar so high in the middling slog. And I'm willing to admit that, like, as much as I love collecting home media, I have a passion for it. I will critique when I think there's something to critique. I will express something that I love or I don't like. Wakanda Forever, when we did this last time, was great. It was definitely, you had stuff to pick from. This time around, I understand the cards they were playing, and they were like, let's get this release out of the way, move on to like better pasture. It sucks, but you know, that's maybe the Blu-ray version of the movie is literally the same thing as the DVD. It's just literally the same thing. You just add Blu-ray on top of there. It's literally the same. It literally, I can put up a screen on image. Like it's the same thing. As for the 4K release, as of course, you know, you have the regular standard 4K release that you would comically find at Target. Now, the 4K release is basically just these two characters, Ant-Man the Wasp, in a different background, but it's almost the same feel, and that's it. That's literally the 4K Ultra HD version that it is. The Walmart version, which of course includes the special pin, which, you know, is still a very cool thing. I'll express it. Like, I will give kudos that Walmart at least gives you a little bit more incentive to, like, okay, we're giving you a little bit more for your copy. So with that version, it's going to just be actually the back side of this, which is which is this shot, which honestly, I don't mind that. That was a cool shot. This was, I think, I'm pretty sure one of the special screening versions of it, like IMAX or 4DX, I forgot which one it was, but you could see that in that. And seeing that cover was like, okay, if that was like a cover, I would buy it. That was pretty cool. But as for, like, you know, now going to like the 4K Steelbook itself. So on the front here, for the Steelbook, we have Ant-Man the Wasp and Stature getting ready for battle. Again, so when this was originally released, and this is the IMAX poster, I still think it's a cool poster. Again, I'm just not really a big fan of reusing assets. Like, I do understand they're commissioning the artist to make this. I understand that, but still, I just really don't like it. But I do like the sheen of the purple that I see with my eyes. This isn't something you can really see on camera. I do really like the sheen on this. I really do. It makes the suits pop out in a different sort of way. Logo's the same, and on the back you get to see Kang looming in the distance, mind you, ready for whatever the heck he's ready to plan next. Again, I don't know why. I don't know if this is an artistic show, but like Kang is really like a little bit more neutral here in terms of his color and like identification markers. I don't know. Maybe that's just a me thing. And on the inside for the special image inside, it's just Scott, Hope, and Cassie looking at Kang coming in. That's literally it. I'm a little bit disappointed about that. And of course on the J card version, which y'all know and love, it's just the same thing. No review. It's just no review. It's just the same thing with the DVD. As for the discs themselves, you just have the Ant-Man and Kang meeting for the first time in person. Then you have Kang looking at the destruction of his fortress base. Yeah, I'm not really the best with like giving definitions for these. I'm really not. It's like how would I express it more of like, this was just yet another example, but this time going lower of like, they just did not at all really put too much emphasis on this release. It just didn't. And it just once again is proven then and there with this. This is going to be a bold statement to say. Then again, I'm not really much for bold statement. Then again, I am sometimes. Ant-Man the Wasp, Quantumania was... I can't believe I'm saying this. You know, between the movie itself, now the home media release, and everything that's around it right now, it's probably one of the biggest mess-ups of the entire MCU thus far. And that's really bold to say, because like I went into Quantumania in general as a movie thinking this was going to be a game changer. This was going to be the movie that, like, okay, fans, because Phase 4 was a very mixed phase, so into Phase 2, where you had great installments. In the case of Phase 4, you had No Way Home, you had Shang-Chi, you had Wakanda Forever, and then you had the opposite spectrum where you had movies that were like very divisive, such as Love and Thunder, Eternals, Black Widow. And I'm like, I understand the criticism, so I'm thinking like, okay, Phase 5's line was going to be like, starting with Quantumania, where they got the focus straight. Phase 4 was like, you kind of give them leeway, they were trying some new things out. Now Phase 5, we're going to really knock it home, but Phase 5 kind of felt like, and I'm hopeful for this. Obviously, right now we only just got Volume 3. We're going to get the Marvels later this year. We got Secret Invasion, Loki Season 2, Echo coming out the gate next. With in terms of like the Disney Plus show is going to start carrying the weight for the phase now, before we get to the fall. Quantumania, I very much hope that should have been the end of Phase 4. Where it was a very divisive season. Maybe down the road, fans would be a little bit more open to like, Quantumania was a better movie. For me, I thought it was good. I think, and I think it's just me like thinking in the grander scheme of things, like, you know, the Ant-Man movies are fun. They're just fun movies, like the original two. This movie is trying to set up, you know, a bigger picture. And when it comes to these setup movies, where like they're mainly, like in their deep core, they're part of the puzzle. They're part of like, you know, assembling now the larger piece that will be the Multiverse Saga, once that comes to a conclusion in the future. This is just a piece of the puzzle, which, okay, fine. It is what it is. Like, there have been, you know, films we've gotten before that are pieces of the puzzle, but they are amazing films on their outright. This is one of those, like, tonally, there were just some things off there, you know, definitely. I just felt like they could have done any certain direction with the movie. I know this was trying to be the Civil War for the MCU, for this series. It's not. It really isn't. And I just, you know, with the movie being how it is, being so divisive with the fans and the critics, I'm like, yeah, and then the financial aspect of, like, you know, if you're not amazing out the gate anymore, it's not enough, because, you know, there is such a thing as comic book fatigue. We already know that already. But the other spectrum of the idea is, it's just, if the outpour of who's talking about the movie is not that strong enough, you will have people that are a little bit more less than savvy to go see it. Like, for me, like, I see every MCU movie in theaters. Like, I do. Since Iron Man 1, that tradition will go on until the day I die. It's never going to change. But for me, like, something that I was very much noticing, like, you know, that, well, I understand that I'm like that, but there are people that are like, you know, like, okay, enough's enough. Like, a lot of people, like, I said this before in previous iterations of this unboxing, that Endgame was the end for them. That they weren't going to do anymore. Like, that was it. The story's done. We're going to, if they continue on, that's great, but like, my part of seeing these stories are over. Maybe they'll come back down the road when the Multiverse Saga is complete and see how the Marvel do. And I respect that. I respect those people who made the decision, but at the end of the day, like, it's still a movie that you need a great, strong word of mouth to go watch it. And like, let's take a recent example. Mario, for instance, reception-wise with the critics, did not do great. It did okay. It did, like, I think it was a 40 or 50% on Rotten Tomatoes, which, again, for me, form your own opinion. Never really fully rely on a person's opinion. But I do understand that those opinions matter, because, you know, we're in a recession right now. The money is very tight, and, you know, there's a lot of great movies out there, but you want to see the movies you know for sure you're going to guarantee a picture for. If I had a ticket and I had the option between to see Quantumania or Mario, let's say I had no money for both of them. Let's just say I had one and that's it. I would see Mario, because Mario was more of a better time than Quantumania was. I'm very allowed to say that. And that's a recent example where Rotten Tomatoes score, right, they were kind of the same. They were still within the same category, but the issue was just the audience, which are like the most important people to listen to. Because critics, they're professional reviewers. That's basically their title. Like, they're going to, like, do a much more deeper analysis on it. For me, I'm just going to say it's fun, it's great, it's bad, it should, you know, it is what it is. But, and then, so with this one, like, you know, you just didn't have that much support on both sides. And, like, I'm not surprised that financially didn't do well. There's a contrast difference, you know, but, and they said before, like, Guardians 3 made the entire run of Quantumania in 2 weekends. Quantumania's gross took the whole span of time it was in theaters. Again, it's about the quality. It's not about just the overall perspective of it, it's the quality. If the film is amazing, people will go see it. If it's not amazing, then you will see the results. As for the whole media release, I understand that, like, you know, they didn't make back their money. They know a lot of people are probably not going to pick this up unless you are collectors like me. And they were just trying to, like, you know, not invest that much money. It's like, it just sucks that you came from such a high position with Wakanda Forever, which for me, I felt like this is cool. I can't wait. Quantumania is going to knock it out of the park too, because you have, you know, the Quantum Realm, you had Kang, you had all the Ant-Man family. You had such filled with possibilities for that, and they really dropped the ball. They really did. They just did one pose, one style, made variants of it, and then the other two were just like repeats. Like, okay, it's serviceable. They're on my wall and shelves right now. I'm like, they're gonna be serviceable, but it isn't something like, it's like, wow. I'm like, I want to show this off. Like, it's it's night and day, the difference. Like, you know, it's not even, I'm talking about like a film that they did back years ago. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about like the previous entry to now. Like, how hard the ball did drop is just, it wasn't great. It wasn't great. And I can express, I was very disappointed by it. I was very disappointed. I'm hopeful that Guardians 3 will change it up, that the posters for that movie have been, you know, very different, than hopefully that the Steelbook and the home media release for that movie, whenever it does come out in the summer, will be better. But that's still ways away for that time period. But for now, for me as a film, Quantumania was good. It is what it is. I just, you know, obviously right now we're still in the reels of like, what is the next move, because their actor for Kang is currently in some problems. We don't know how that's going to turn out. We may even get a new Kang down the road. We don't know. We don't know right now. It's a big mystery. But I will say the performance he did do in this movie is really, really great. It really was. I'm still looking forward to what he could do for the role next, but if the time comes where like he has to go, it is what it is. You can't, you know, there's obviously a much bigger picture here. You got to think of, it's not just the movies. It is what it has to be. Which is, you know, just making sure everyone's okay and like everyone, you know, gets what they deserve at the end. And then, yeah, but as for the whole media, I'm just disappointed. I think it is by far, in recent years, it is my least favorite of the MCU bunch. It is my least favorite. It is. And, you know, the overall presentation, like the overall packaging was just not great. The covers themselves are fine. You know, I gotta clarify myself there, but yeah, it's just going to be on the wall, and then hopefully when we come back next time around for Guardians 3, it'll be a much better experience, hopefully. But let me know in the comments below, what did you think of the Quantumania home media release? Did you love it? Did you hate it? Let me know. Let's have a conversation down below, because I'd love to have a conversation with y'all. But I believe that's going to do it for me today, everyone. You can purchase Ant-Man the Wasp Quantumania at your local retailers that have home media, such as your Target, such as your Walmart, such as your Best Buy. Remember, you can only pick up the Walmart exclusive one, obviously, only at Walmart, and you can pick up, obviously, the Best Buy exclusive Steelbook only at Best Buy. But the regular ones, DVD, Blu-ray, 4K, you can get them anywhere that you want to. Yeah, but again, thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't yet, like, favorite, share if you want to, ring the bell for notification when our next video is live, and follow us on social media. But until we see each other again, for all of you members of our fellow channel, thank you so much for watching. But until the next time we see each other again, stay safe out there, be good to each other, and as always, peace out.